this is a long time coming, right? Jake took a little break to do that wrestle-a-thon. That's over now. So now I'm back, and then I did Top Gun Maverick, of course. Now I'm back in the New York groove. I'm back with Pick 10 Special Edition, which, if you don't remember, is I talked to a couple of my friends, my son and myself, and we put 2 movies in each. And this one was my pick, one of my picks. The other one I already did. Timeline. This is Slackers, which I think is an underrated comedy. You don't hear anyone talk about this comedy. Look at the actors you got here. You got Devon Sawa, Jason Segel, Jamie King, Hot Donna herself, Lauren Prepon, Jason Schwartzman, and you got Michael Cimarrona from Pete and Pete. Right? You know? And I think it's an underrated comedy. And when I first started watching this movie today, I was a little unsure. I'm like, am I remembering this right? Is this underrated? By the end of the movie, the answer was definitely yes. I enjoyed watching this movie. It's a college comedy about 3 slackers who are cheating their way through college. They've cheated their way through school their entire lives. However, one of them, Dave, their names are Dave, Sam, and Jeff. Dave, played by Devon Sawa, makes a mistake of leaving his number to Jamie King's character, Angela, during one of their scams. And Angela's stalker, that's what I'm calling him, Ethan, played by Jason Schwartzman, finds this and blackmails the boys, saying, hey, you get me a date with Angela, you get me with Angela, like we're dating, and I won't tell the dean about all this, and I'm gonna get you expelled. So there's your plot. All Dave has to do is get them together. The one problem, Dave falls in love with Angela. So, yeah, there it is. Let's sit down here. Talk about it. First thing I want to talk about is this. This Photoshop bullshits. See, this was taken from a scene in the film towards the end of the movie. They don't actually graduate, by the way. And Jason Schwartzman's character, Ethan, was not in that scene. So what they did is they took a separate picture of him and photoshopped it. And it's a bad Photoshop job. Look at that. That's terrible. And that's the cover. I always thought Devon Sawa was one of those underrated actors. He's been in things like Idle Hands, Final Destination, and even recently The Fanatic. And now he's on Chucky, the Chucky TV series. But he's not among those 90s actors that you can remember. You know, Leonardo DiCaprio, who was in the 90s. You remember him. That's the only one I can remember. You know, Tom Cruise had hits in the 90s, 80s mostly, but the 90s as well. You know, he's not among those actors you see, but he's a good actor, and he's great in this. When did year did this come out? Oh. 2002. This was close to Final Destination time, more so than Idle Hands time, which was 99. So, yeah. And I grew up with Devon Sawa, too. Night of the Twisters as well. He was in Casper very briefly. So, yeah. This is one of those where it's like, you know, this movie does not have a Blu-ray release. At least I couldn't find one. I don't know. I've checked that eBay, but I've never seen a Blu-ray release of this. Excuse me. I would love one, personally, because that would be in my collection, Blu-ray. But I came across this movie for the first time and this is one of mine, so it's a personal story, came across this movie for the first time on one of the movie channels, like Showtime or Cinemax or HBO or whatever, one of those ones. And it was one of my late night excursions where I'd be at my grandma's house and I'd stay up late and watch rated R movies. And I was under 17 at the time, under 18 at the time, 16, 15, 16. And I came across this movie, and I have it recorded on a VHS tape somewhere. And I recorded it because the first time I watched it, I was like, "This movie's great. I want to watch it again," but it wasn't in the stores, So I saw it was going to be on again. I recorded it on there, but then I don't have a VCR anymore, so I can't watch it. Found this at a pawn shop and was like, "Yes." Never watched it after buying it. It's one of those things where you buy, yeah, I love this movie, and you just don't, But here we are, and I gotta say, it has the template of one of those 2000s romantic comedy type. There's a romantic comedy template with a raunchy comedy flavor to it, Ethan is not just your regular stalker. He is a psychotic stalker. He's got everything, Angela. He's got, like, videos of her, which is really weird later when they show her this Polaroid of it. They show it, and it's like a shot taken from earlier in the film of the room with the video playing, and it's like, wait a minute, that's not a picture, but, He's got pictures of her everywhere, and he's got a doll made from her own hair. He is psychotic, right? He's crazy to no end. Is he psychotic? And you got Dave's two friends, Sam and Jeff, played by Jason Segel and Michael C. Morona. Michael C. Morona, you may know as Big Pete from Adventures of Pete and Pete. I remember seeing him, like, that's Big Pete. But there's another TV show connection here, because you got Laura Prepon playing the roommate. I don't remember her name. But also in this movie is another actor who was on that 70s show. I don't know the actor's name, but he was Fenton. He and Fez are having a feud. Yes, he plays the very, very obnoxious and should be probably fired teacher who purposely gives his students Fs just because he doesn't like them. Like, there's a scene where Jeff's in there, he's got his hood up. He's like, "Hey, you, test is done. You get F. You're failing. I'm not going to pass you. You're getting an F. Don't bother finishing that. You're not going to pass. And it's like, wait, you cannot fail him for trying to finish a test. Even though it's past the time that you set, you cannot just say, hey, you're failed. That's against some kind of code, right? What happened? My arm hurt when I did that. Some kind of code of conduct. And to Jeff's point, he's like, "Do you know my name?" "No." "Well, you don't? So he mixes it up so that he can't just fail him if he doesn't know his name. So, yeah, that's... Anyway, as I said, Dave makes the mistake of sitting next to Angela when Ethan has gotten up. So Ethan is forced to sit across the way there in his class. And so he's there to cheat to help out Sam, I think, who pretended to get hit by a truck, got hit by... I think he faked it, if I remember correctly, because he later played basketball just fine. But they cheat their way through everything. But like this says, when all else fails, cheat. It's backwards. Okay. But anyway, yeah. And like Dave narrates this movie like the three of them. They're the big three. They're the ones. They do all this together, and he even says, "I made a big mistake." And that's writing his number down for Angela. Why not find a piece of paper and give to her? You had to give it, and then she left it there. Like, was she not intending to call him, I guess, but like they do end up going out, so I don't know. It's really weird. Like, I don't know. This, of course, freaks out Ethan, who is like, oh no, this guy. But then he's like, hey, I have proof you guys are cheating, and so I need you to help me get the girl. This also causes problems because obviously Dave already kind of liked the girl, even though he's probably just schmoozing her to get her in the sack, kind of thing. But now, because of this whole thing, he falls in love with her, even having sex with her by the pool, pool. And there's a scene where Ethan's going all over the place trying to find them, and he ends up finding them. That plays in later when he shows the guys, Sam and Jeff, the footage, and it reveals that, hey, he's been lying to them. But I feel like that could have been handled better than him doing that, because he's been looking all night trying to find them, and then he just so happens to find them. Like, no, he should have not found them, but some other way for them to find out. I don't know. But because of this, there's a whole bunch of problems when Ethan shows up and he's just tells Angela everything. But to get himself off the hook, he says that he paid them off to do it, not the black man. And like Dave is trying to tell her what's going on, but she won't listen. He should have just blurted it out. He blackmailed me. He blackmailed us. But no. Then he goes back to his dorm where he's accosted by his friends. Well, Sam. Jeff is a little wasted. By the way, there's a plot thing with Jeff that doesn't go anywhere, where he's talking about, like, we shouldn't be with women. We just get guys get naked and have sex, but it's not gay. And then he's like, so you know I'm not gay. And I thought this is going to lead to him revealing he's gay, but it doesn't go anywhere. So I don't know if they're supposed to go somewhere, and whatever the conclusion that was deleted, I don't know. But it's a weird plot thread. Doesn't go anywhere. Sam does up hooking with Hot Donna. I gotta call on that because I don't with Donna because I don't know the character's name, and that's just randomly out of nowhere at the end. That's the first time they meet. There's a thing earlier where he's like, you gotta be an asshole to girls to get them. So that's what you gotta do, and that's how he gets with her that I'm making out stuff. Yeah. So after this, of course, they're on the outs. And they had to plan, the three of them, to make Ethan look like the biggest jerk to the people that he's trying to work for. But, like, I don't know. Dave went in pretending to be Ethan, and Ethan comes in later. Dave goes in pretending to be Ethan, behaves like an asshole, and then Ethan comes in later, and is the guy in charge the only one that saw him? It's very weird that nobody else is like, that's not the guy that was here before. Didn't the secretary see Dave as Ethan? I don't know. Ethan carries around his bike on his back, which gotta be bad for your back. I don't know. But if the one thing that goes too overboard, it's Ethan. It's the character of Ethan. I feel like his character is probably the worst character. I mean, he's supposed to be. But I feel like they go a little bit too overboard with that stalkerism. Because to me, I don't know, there are people out there that are like that. Absolutely. There are weird people out there that are exactly like this guy. But to a point, this guy just does not quit. Like, he is going full crazy. Like, singing to her, and she doesn't want anything to do with him. And forever she wants nothing to do with him. And then even after he's tricked her into believing his lies about Dave, well, sort of lies. He's like, Scoot over, I'm gonna sleep in the bed. She's like, you sleep on the couch. And he's there naked with the hair doll, whacking it off. And it's like, dude, what if someone walks in? Like, literally, Jeff walked in on Donna masturbating earlier. She had the dildo. We don't see it, of course, but still. I'm just saying. And they say that in the film, and yeah, I don't know. It's really weird, but legitimately, I think this is the only movie I've ever seen Laura Prepon in. Maybe she was in other things, but it's the only one I've seen in. But eventually, the truth comes out. He shows up in that class again. He tells her the truth that Ethan blackmailed them, and he's a cheater. And all three of them get expelled. But then Jeff makes fake diplomas, and so they graduate. Three of them. So I don't know. It's really weird, but yeah, they're together, and Sam and Donna are together, and Ethan is all alone, and he is thrown out because, so I got itch. When you got man tits, man boobs, it gets sweaty and shit today. But sorry, that gross you got. But yeah, so then he's like singing the song at the end, which legitimately sounds good, but it's a creepy song. I don't know. I love you, but I hate you. That's because I love you. I don't know. It's really weird. It gets you in a locked room, and someone needs to lock that boy up, like pronto. Put him in a padded cell and never let him out. I'm just saying. But guys, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. Like, acting was great. I thought the comedy was good. I laughed quite a bit. So when it comes to Slackers, I'd say it's pretty good. I think it's an underrated comedy. I really do. But we are on this. Gotta flip it around. Let's roll the dice. Of course, it's a 3. If you don't know why I said it, it's because I know that number 3 is Captain Ron. I could mulligan. I really could. My plan is to try to finish this, to have Captain Ron be last, so that Big LT and I could review this Friday. Now I have to wait until Friday so we could do this. Which means, I don't know, some more catching up on reviews, I guess, tomorrow. And I wasn't even trying to roll the 3. Okay, here's what happened. I was like, I need to figure out which one is Captain Ron, so I could try to save that for last. Now I could re-roll the mulligan. I could say mulligan, let's re-roll it. I need to get these done. You know what? Best 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3. So let's do it again, like we did last summer. And let's roll. That's the 3 out of 5. Okay? So that's a 1. But how do I do that? Because it's still... I don't know. I'll just take Captain Ron, and I'll just wait till Friday to do that, and then I can catch up on some more reviews that way. But what are your thoughts on Slackers in the comments? Like, share, subscribe. I think I already did that one, but thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.